Welcome to News in the 50s, End of Decade Wrap-Up, where we bring you the latest stories. Here's Paul with the news events.
Well, Disneyland is now opening. Also, the moment we have all been waiting for. We now have a vaccine for polio, and color TVs are now in store. It's a rather upbeat thing to have while the Korean War rages.
We will be right back after this break.
Hiya, Barbie. Hi, Melissa. What you gonna do? Go to sock hop? Yeah, man, let's go. Woo, let's skip all the way down.
Every little girl's famous favorite dream is to own a Barbie doll. Barbies are the hot new thing. You can take them anywhere. They're portable and they're your best friend. So,
Barbies!
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic, but it's fantastic. Barbie!
The 1950s has been a great success for the civil rights movement. There was a number of developments which greatly improved the lives of black people in America and really started the civil rights. American education underwent dramatic and, for some people, shattering changes. Also, country schools came under pressure by the main thought of educational rivalry that schools needed to be big enough to offer educations of scale mostly at the secondary high school level.
Action.
I saw.
popular fun fads of the decade would include drive-in movies, coonskin hats, Barbie dolls, sock hops, DuckTales, which guys wear as hair, monkey plush little animals, the TV shows I Love Lucy and See It Now. The musicians were the following: Buddy Holly, Marilyn Monroe, Bill Haley and his Comets, and Chuck Berry. The music reactions were that teens loved rock music, but adults despised it. They did anyways, because they were like that. What did teens do for fun, you may ask? Well, almost every guy wore a leather jacket and carried a comb in his pocket at all times. Well, Elvis Presley, the best musician of all, he created the bad boy image, and teens read scientific fiction books and fantasy books. Teens were encouraged to attend college. Beat Generation music was also very popular. And the first Playboy magazine was published in 1953 with Marilyn Monroe on the cover.
Dude, I'm hungry. Where do you want to go?
I don't know.
How about McDonald's?
Yeah, McDonald's sounds like a great place.
I heard that they have a new drive-thru.
Yeah, my mom can take us.
Yeah.
Awesome. McDonald's.
Ba-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Woo! Woo!
Our transportation, we achieved General Motors brands, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet. More common in the 1959 Cadillac, 1950 Chevrolet, 1953 Chevrolet Corvette, 1950 Cadillac, the 50s. And McDonald's became the country's first chain drive-in restaurant. Charles Wilson, the director of General Motors, in 1953 said, quote, "What is good for the America is good for GM, General Motors, and vice versa," end quote.
Family life was, well, 64.5% of homes had indoor plumbing. And the men, no matter how miserable they were, they had to stay married. Because it wasn't very well thought of when, in the 1950s. The average salary per person is normally $2,992. I think that's per year, but yeah. The job ratio for jobs are 2 female workers for every 5 male workers. And the life expectancy for female was 71.1 years, and for the male it was 65.6 years.
A lot of black widows.
Or widows.
Yep. Divorce rates went up 10,000 in 10 years. The man typically had a wife and kids. And if he didn't, that was his fault. Jobs for boys either went to the military or found a job working somewhere. A loaf of bread cost 14 cents. And popular names for the boys were James and Michael, and the popular names for the girls were Mary and Linda.
Action.
What is good of America is good for GM, General Motors that is, and vice versa. Charles Wilson here, Director of General Motors.
Technology. In the mid-1950s, other Dr. Sabin developed an oral vaccination for polio. The first credit card invented by Rolf
Schneider.
In 1950s, Papermate made its first leak-free ballpoint pen. The first copy machine was made in the 1950s. Chevy Corvette became the first car to have all fiberglass body in 1953. In 1954, Bell Telephone Labs produced the first solar battery wrist watch.
This is Abraham with the weather, and for today, we predict clear skies. Tomorrow will be a tiny bit rainy. So here is Paul with the language, customs, and traditions.
So, well, teenagers like to go to the school dances and hang out with friends. And for slang, they use the word actor, which means show off, and agitate the gravel, which means leave. And then also, ain't that a bite, which means that's too bad. Ankle biter, which means child. Nah.
Ah, she's biting my ankle!
And so apple butter means smooth talking or flattery. And are you writing a book means you're asking too many questions. Baby means cute girl. Backseat bingo means kissing in the car. Bad news means depressing person.
Is our fashion. What did our teen sons wear? Well, saddle shoes or suede loafers, blue. And our girls, they wore poodle skirts, blue jeans that were cuffed up, pencil skirts, long, bowling shoes, fluffy skirts, and high waists. And of course, as proud parents, we kept them conservative. Well, that's a wrap. Well, a wrap-up of the 1950s decade. See
you next decade.